A very good day to you, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Candid Talk here on Herman Manyora's YouTube channel. My name is Herman Manyora. It's my pleasure to have you on board on yet another interesting episode of the Candid Talk. I'm joined here by Professor Herman Manyora. Prof, how are you?
Wonderful.
Let's look at what is actually taking place and happening within the country. Of course, I can see a number of young people and of course a number of people as well from the central Kenya region having some sort of discussion here. Of course, is it the first time that the mountain region is finding itself at crossroads in terms of who to support in the next general elections? Because I'm looking at a situation whereby people are asking, and at the time I saw, of course, Denise to be post and ask, look, what is the problem here? If you look at the cabinet, the majority of members of that particular cabinet are from the central region. If you look at the number of developments which are taking place, at least according to them, I wonder whether that is actually true. But then they are talking of members from that particular region are more of insiders in this particular government than any other person. And therefore they are asking, what is it that these people really want from President William Ruto? Let's get into that conversation. Do you think that it is actually unfair for the mountain to bolt from the president when indeed they are in government, quote unquote?
But what the move they made is a political move, informed by political decisions, not by roads or dams or those things you are calling development, not by positions in government, no, by politics. And the move to feel betrayed and to bolt out of government is a political move. Okay. Yeah, so you can't access that by looking at how many kilometers of road that have been put.
Okay. So does it therefore mean that it doesn't matter even if everybody from that particular region would be in the Ruto cabinet, that if
being in cabinet never really means much. There was a time we lawyers had almost 1/3 or a quarter of the cabinet, and it was not just small portfolios. We had Attorney General, we had Finance, we had Chief Justice. We had, at the same time, many of those things. But it didn't translate to anything.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not translating to anything, therefore mean that you may have your people
and people will get annoyed
people
with
do not
you.
feel it on the ground.
People will get annoyed with you even if you give them good food. They can still get annoyed with you. Yeah. Material things, don't always touch people. There are certain things that are not material which touch people more. Yeah.
But how comes that seems to be working somehow politically in the Nyanza region?
It depends on really the situation on the ground.
I mean, because I was having a conversation with a friend and was looking at...
But it's political because, you see, the Nyanza people have tied their fate with Raila Odinga. So anything Raila is happy with makes the people happy. So I think what you are calling development just is secondary. The primary thing is that Raila is happy. And when Baba is happy, everybody is happy in Nyanza. Yeah, so it's still political.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
it's not about those things. You can remove all those things that are happening in Homa Bay and the rest of those places. But people will still be happy with Raila and be happy to do what Raila says, which is let's support the government of the day. Yeah.
So essentially you're saying that you can take John Mbadi from the cabinet, you can take
yes. But
still remain with, as long as Raila is still there.
In fact, John Mbadi being in parliament is not even part of the conversation. Yeah.
Okay.
People are just happy. Remember, I can show you that I'm right, because when there was Uhuru Kenyatta, you can see how excited the people in Nyanza were to receive Uhuru Kenyatta, almost putting lassos down for him to step on. And you saw even recently when he visited Nyanza for the burial of Magoha, Professor Magoha. And yet during the handshake, the Mbadis were not in government. There was the people were not part of Uhuru's government. But Uhuru was still loved by the people because Raila was happy. That's it. So at the end of the day, it's still politics.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then how then should it be played? Who is it then now who actually calls the shots here? Because we are looking at a situation whereby, in as much as you're saying here that normally politics in this country is a little bit local and ethnic based, if anything is to go by, and seemingly it's like we're back to the era of siasa mbaya, maisha mbaya, and that. I think that is the same playbook that I'm seeing President William Ruto trying to play this time around. But why is it now not actually working with the central region? Why are we not seeing some sort of a difference as we are seeing in the rest of the part of the country?
But it is not the first time. When Moi was in power, for the most part of his presidency, the Mount Kenya people are not happy with him. Yeah. It's nothing new. This has always happened. Yeah. Yeah. The people of Mount Kenya were not with Moi. Yeah.
Now, this then gets us back to the drawing board, because I can see, yes, it is true that President William Ruto made a bad decision by ensuring that Rigathi Gachagua was impeached. And so all these attempts to have these people brought on board, certain members of that particular community integrated into government and all these things, we're not seeing that actually working. Do you think that it will now have to take him some time to get back to this real person here, the former deputy president, so that he actually gets a portion of that particular money?
Well, but that's a little far-fetched. So this not working again is not new. There was J.J. Kamoto.
Okay.
Yeah, it didn't work. There were mamos in Nyanza and the rest of those people. The community didn't follow. That's because of Mamo was a minister in Moi's government, or J.J. Kamoto was in Moi's government. So the 7 is just another number of people who do not add any value as far as the community is concerned. As for getting Gachagua, that is again, that will be that is still possible because it's politics. But it has its own challenges. How sure would Gachagua be that if he did an about turn, the people will go with him? He will look back, there will be nobody behind him.
Yeah. Have we reached a point where, if you look at it currently, then it is a matter of no Gachagua, no central?
That's where we are.
Is that where we are?
That's where we are. Doesn't mean we shall get stuck there. Things could change, but that's where we are today. Yeah.
But then there are certain people who are actually arguing and talking and saying, look, this kind of politics that we've been playing for this time has been overtaken by events, because at the end of the day they're asking, why is it that you would deny certain regions, or rather development, so to say, sidelining them just because you are not in terms with particular leaders from that particular region? So that is the question that we are actually asking. In as much as, well, politically, Rigathi Gachagua is calling the shots in that particular region, but is it in order for the people of Central to pay that price as well?
I have not gotten your question.
My
to pay
question
which price?
is this. Yes. So this is what is actually happening. That for William Ruto, because right now we are seeing a situation whereby people, or rather developments, are directed to certain regions. And purely speaking, what people are saying here is that the president is playing politics. So at the end of the day, is it actually right for the people of Mount Kenya region to pay the price for the humiliation that Rigathi Gachagua actually went through?
Still haven't understood your question, but you see, every move in politics has its own cost. It has its own benefits, has its own troubles it brings. So if the people of Mount Kenya decide that they will go with Gachagua, and there are consequences to that, they should be prepared for that. They should know there will be consequences. But that's not quite the case, because you yourself began by saying that with all the good things in Mount Kenya, how come are they? So it means the good things are still there.
Yes.
In terms of the presence in the government, in terms of development, as you call it. So, but theoretically speaking, yes, if there's a price to pay, you'll pay. Yeah, if Gachagua is taking the flag and you are supporting, you too will pay for it. And it shouldn't be strange, because what we call development is engineered from a political standpoint. That politics dictates what we call the development. That when you go to a textbook as an economic student, a student of economics, you see these are the factors to consider when you want to allocate an industry. But the politicians can allocate an industry anywhere without looking at what the book says. So it is true, politics determines development. And if those in power today feel you are not a good person, they can make you pay for it. And that will be nothing unusual. It's normal. Everywhere across the world. Yeah. Even Trump now is rearranging the economic map of America. He's rearranging the partnerships America has with the rest of the world. Because he's president. Yeah.
Okay. So you were saying here that definitely the people of Central, if they decide to stick with Rigathi Gachagua
and the Gachagua must be beaten, they will also be beaten. They will suffer with it. That's how it is. Yeah.
This is it's a little bit strange because...
but I'm sure that is a price they're willing to pay.
Because according to Gachagua, the people are actually being mistreated. That is what he's saying. But according to the other side of the government, they are saying that, look, you've got the highest number of people in the cabinet. You've got a lot of...
But both sides have a point.
Yes, so it's
no, both sides have a point. Because they're also arguing you cannot equate Gachagua's happiness to the people being happy. And if you are arguing that the Ruto government has abandoned you, just look at the cabinet positions. But the other side is arguing having people in cabinet who are essential traitors does not help us as a community. And I've also argued and given examples about Western Kenya sometimes in the 90s or thereabouts. Having people in cabinet does not necessarily translate to anything on the ground. It doesn't.
Okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to this conversation. Allow me to stop for now. You can weigh in and tell us what you actually think. Allow me to stop for now till we have this conversation again. Have yourself a lovely day. My name is Evans Okenyi.